Hey guys, welcome back to Chef Shawn's house. We got a great episode tonight. It's going to be easy, fast, very yummy stuff. But I wanted to let you know what Chef Shawn's house actually is. My first episode, I didn't tell you what my premise is, but it's basically I want to cook meals. I want to show you guys how to cook meals for cheap, but to make them look really good, really kind of gourmet kind of meals, but like on a budget in a sense. But also, they're basically like date meals. So either you want to cook for your girl or you want to cook for your guy, but you want to impress them. Like, they could be good first date things, but you just don't know how to cook, right? And all the cooking shows out there are just really tough stuff to cook, right? So anyways, tonight we are going to cook wraps, salad wraps. They're delicious. Everybody loves them, and they're healthy, right? We got three things that we're going to cook. We're going to cook miso soup with tofu and seaweed. I'm going to show you how to prepare salad wraps with, I'm going to use chicken tonight, but you can use beef or pork. And I'm also going to cook noodles, just like a stir-fry noodle and that. And then we'll plate it all up and I'll show you how to eat them, and it'll be great. So let's get started. All right, so here's the ingredients that we're going to make our entire meal tonight. And like I said, we're making salad wraps, miso soup, and noodles. So let's start. And we're going to do actually two different kinds of salad wraps. I said we're using chicken, but we're actually also going to use tofu for those vegetarian guys out there, right? Or girls, what have you. So yeah, we got marinated tofu, marinated chicken. That's the lettuce, and I'm going to show you a trick. So with the lettuce, you want to wash and all that and pat dry it and everything, but you also want to throw it in the freezer. So we're going to do that right now, actually, because why we want to do that is, it crisps it up a bit. Jesus. All right, so that's not for the show. Okay. So, and then we've got tofu for the miso soup. We've got seaweed. We've got the marinade. Green onions. That's the miso paste. That's kimchi. Kimchi is a Korean cabbage. I'll show you how to make that actually on another episode. We got bean sprouts, an egg. That's seaweed noodles. They're really cool. You can get those at Asian markets. Mushrooms. Those are the stir-fried noodles that we're gonna make, and some pepper. All right, okay, the beauty of this meal is you can prepare everything in advance, so you're not sitting around fumbling while your date is here. You can actually cook everything in advance, except for the meat or tofu, what have you, because the vegetables and all that can be cold. But we are gonna cook all of those, but like I said, all you have to do is cook the soup and fry the noodles really quick and fry the meat. So let's get started. We're just gonna start with some of the vegetables. So we got the green peppers and red peppers and just some oil. I gotta switch camera angles, so we'll be right back. Hey, sorry. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fry the peppers, and so we got already a preheated pan. And another thing is I'm cooking here really fast, but we're gonna heat up both of our water because it's just easier, so not waiting for it anyways. Okay, so get some either canola oil or vegetable oil, or you can do sesame oil. I just don't like sesame oil because it's kind of got that nutty taste, but anyways. And then just get a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Fry that up. So another trick that you could do, which I like, so there's a little bit of oil in there, but we want to speed it up a little bit, so just a little bit of water. You flash a little bit of water in there and it steams it. So you can hear that? Look at that. That's pretty much done. And the beauty, you get a nice plate, and it's all going to be presentation, so it's all going to be on one plate. It'll be very intimate when you serve it up. All right, we're just going to keep going. Mushrooms this time. Season them again. A little bit of salt. Pepper. A little bit of pepper. And just let it fry and sizzle away. All right, so you want to get those mushrooms frying pretty good, which they are. You don't want to overcook them because you basically want them to look like that. Okay. Now we just plate up the mushrooms. Voila. Okay, we're gonna do the bean sprouts. The bean sprouts are gonna be really, really fast. You don't want to overcook them because you still want them to look like bean sprouts. And we season it. And the water trick again. See, that's literally, they're already starting to cook. Can you see that? See? That's literally pretty much done. All right, okay, so what we want to do, we're going to do the noodles. So season your water. Just throw them in. I also got the miso soup gonna go, or the water boiling for the miso soup. All right, so the miso soup's just a little bit high, so we want to turn that down. And this is just miso paste, and you can get it really in any supermarket, but I would recommend going to like an Asian market and getting your shit from there. So that's like, I don't know, a big glob, like two big tablespoons, soup spoons full of miso paste. Now you want to not let it boil over, so be careful. Stir it in, and those noodles are already done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain them, and then we're gonna fry them. All right, so got an egg. This is, we wanna crack the egg, break it into a bowl. Ooh, look at that. We're gonna whip it, because we wanna scramble this egg. And now, the marinade that we've got marinating the tofu and the chicken is basically just any kind of an Asian marinade you want. Like I'm using a bulgogi marinade, but you can use like teriyaki or like a stir fry or an oyster sauce, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever your preference is. So I want to add a little bit of that to the egg because it's going to flavor the egg. Kind of looks gross, but there we go. We're going to go back to the stove. Alright, so just basically a little bit of oil. Need a spatula. It's going to fry up pretty fast. Just a scrambled egg. I know it kind of looks gross, but it's delicious. So if you guys ever want to find me on like online, you can just you can email the show at chefshawnshouse@gmail.com. Find me on Instagram at just Shawn Toma, Twitter Shawn Toma, Facebook Shawn Toma. My website is ShawnToma.com. So basically, just type in Shawn Toma and you'll find me. All right, so those eggs are done, so we're gonna put them aside. Okay, so we got some ingredients for the miso soup. So we got just diced tofu, which you can get at a supermarket or at the Asian market where you're getting your other shit from. And I've got two types of seaweed here. I've got the dry seaweed that you use for sushi, and then I found this stuff. It's salted seaweed, and you find it in the refrigerator aisle of your Asian market. And I'm gonna put both in because they're yummy. And just stir it up, and your miso soup can just simmer. And then you want just a few green onions to go in there, and you want to save a couple of uncooked green onions for right at the end for presentation. It looks really good. All right. Okay, we're gonna do those noodles that we boiled. We're going to fry them. And we're gonna use a little bit of that same sauce, the marinade. We're just gonna use it all the way throughout the whole dish. Okay, so you got a nice hot frying pan. Strain those noodles. A little bit of oil in there. You kind of want to get them crisped up, crisped up. You know what I'm trying to say. Crunchy. Jesus. Okay, so those gross eggs that you got, I know they look kind of gross, but they're really delicious. That and some green onions. A little bit more oil, because you want to crisp them up. The noodles I'm talking about. And yeah. So you can see they're kind of getting harder, crispier. And then right at the end, we're gonna just pour in a little bit of sauce. Take it off the heat, because you don't want that sauce. The sugar in the sauce will actually burn. So you know, we've got enough heat. The initial blast of that can burn the sauce, and then it'll be gross. So you don't want to do that. So, because usually marinades and that have a lot of sugar in them. So put it back on the heat. All right, we're gonna get a dish to plate that up. All right, okay, now we're ready for the meat. I'm gonna fry the meat and the tofu separately, because you don't want to have cross-contamination, and obviously if you're a vegetarian, you don't want chicken in the same thing. The chicken's going to take a little bit longer than the tofu, so I'll start the chicken, and then once it's almost ready, I'll start the tofu, and then I'll plate that up, and then I'll throw those noodles back into the frying pan real fast, so then all three things that we're heating up are going to be heated up at the same time. Okay, a little bit of oil in both of them. And the chicken goes in first. And I wanted to point out, you don't want like a super searing hot pan, because it'll burn it again with the sugars. And I forgot to mention that you want to marinate your meat or your tofu for like 24 hours. I mean, I guess a minimum would be 4 hours if you're in a pinch or whatever. If you can't, then what have you, but it's best. The meat will be best if you marinate it longer. And yeah, okay, so that chicken is cooking. We started off slow. I forgot to mention also, you want to slice your meat really, really thin, as possible. And a good trick is to put your meat into the freezer for a half an hour before you slice it up, because then it firms it up and then you can slice it really thin. And a really good trick is an Olfa knife, or like a utility knife. You know, those yellow ones? Those slice stuff really cheap, or not really, Get an Olfa knife and cut it. Cut the meat with it. Okay, so that's heating up. All right, as you can see, that chicken is getting cooked. It's looking beautiful. It smells awesome. Quick trick to cutting your meat really thin is put it in the freezer, let it firm up for about a half an hour, and then a really good trick is to get like a utility knife. Everybody has a utility knife. Not everybody has a sharp chef knife. So get a utility knife. Just make sure to use a brand new blade. This is my work knife, so I don't really use this for food, but everybody has these. You can get these anywhere for like $5. Brand new blade, a firm piece of meat, and slice it kind of paper thin, and that's what you can do. Okay, so that chicken is cooked, getting cooked. We only have to cook this tofu for maybe 2 minutes. Woo! Alright, so I didn't listen to my own advice and I threw that in a hot pan. So take it off the heat. If that happens, you just take it off the heat. So keep it moving, because then the sugars don't really get stagnant and they don't burn. Sugars in the sauce I'm talking about. And if you're doing a vegetarian dish, try not to even use the same spatulas, because then you're cross-contaminating. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to throw this both into separate dishes for presentation, and then I'm going to rinse out the pan really fast, throw it back on the stove, throw those noodles back in there so they're all hot at the same time, serve it up, and we're going to eat. Alright, so the noodles are going back in for literally 10 seconds. Just basically want to heat them up again. That chicken is pretty much done. And then we're going to pull the lettuce out of the freezer and make a lettuce wrap. Salad wrap, lettuce wrap. Here, we'll grab that lettuce. Holy shit. Alright. Left it in there a little too long, but it'll be fine. All right, so we got lettuce wraps and a bunch of. Okay, so we got miso soup, lettuce wraps, and fried noodles for dinner tonight. We're gonna do. We have no. Okay. All right, so we're ready to eat. All right, so the food is cold because it's taking me forever to make this introduction. Anyways, we've got lettuce wraps, tofu, no, fuck. All right, I'm getting tired of this. All right, so that's it. We got lettuce wraps, miso soup, and fried noodles. Tofu and chicken we're eating tonight. Good. Okay, quick note. Put the lettuce in the fridge, not the freezer. It froze on me. But anyways, whatever. We've got a good meal here. I'm going to just show you how to wrap this up, and then we're going to go from there. So you take a little bit of chicken, and then whatever fixings you want. Some mushrooms. Some of those. Some bean sprouts. This is that kimchi cabbage. And this is that seaweed noodles. Both can get at the Asian market. And then you just basically make a taco or a burrito. Well, good. See you next time, guys. Thank you.